It's amazing how many church leaders go through life with people all around them, but they feel a loneliness that just won't go away. And it's pretty common to find a leader who is easily triggered by emotional circumstances and find themselves in a negative state of mind for a whole day or sometimes even days at a time. And so what's the solution to the loneliness or the extended negative roller coaster of emotions? I want to propose to you today one solution that has helped me in a great way. I want to propose to you the idea of a life team. But what in the world is a life team? Hey there, I'm Ryan Franklin, and this is Church Leader Made Simple, and I'm here to help you get the clarity needed to move your church forward. I'd love for you to join me weekly. You can hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified as soon as I post a new session. And without any further delay, let's get to it. One of my good friends and coaching clients texted me late one night, and he asked me, why do I beat myself up after a sermon? And I was literally laying in bed about to go to sleep, and I was exhausted from the day, and I didn't have any gas left in the tank, and I knew I was meeting with him the very next day, and so I just bypassed his question, and I asked him if he was still going to be able to meet with me in the morning, and he said yes. And I said, well, good. We can discuss this in the morning, and I went to sleep. Yikes. What a leadership coach, huh? My friend needed a relational nutrient in that moment. It probably wouldn't have taken me long, but I was too focused on how tired I was and going to sleep instead of just pausing for a minute and giving him that relational nutrient that he needed. And so you may ask, what could you have said to him, Ryan? That's a great question. He asked, why do you think I beat myself up after a sermon? Even though he was asking for advice in that moment, in that particular moment, he didn't really need advice. He didn't need the why. Because I know him so well, I knew that in the moment, he really just needed acceptance. He needed somebody to give him the relational nutrient of acceptance. Sometimes, even in the midst of our failures and flaws, we just need someone to accept us as we are. And I know that may sound overly simple, but it's a powerful need within every one of us. And when I woke up the next morning and I was rested and I was in my right mind, I knew that my friend just needed relational nutrients. And I wish that I would have given it to him in that moment, but I somewhat made up for it by apologizing to him the next day and then giving him the acceptance that he really needed. Another friend called me a week later. He's one of my life team members, and he understands the relational nutrients concept. And he said, Ryan, thank you for taking my call. This shouldn't take long, but I really need your help right now. I'm feeling down because I haven't made much progress on my goals these past few weeks. Can you just tell me that you accept me anyway and maybe encourage me a little bit? And so I immediately put my life team hat on and I gave him the acceptance and the encouragement that he needed. It literally took about 10 minutes. I had a scheduled meeting with him later in the week where we met and evaluated our lives as we quite often do. It was amazing the difference that acceptance in just a few days had made for him. He was already moving forward again and accomplishing the things that were needed in his ministry and life. The right relational nutrients at the right time has such a healing power that can change a person's mindset in an instant. I've had to call my life team members at times and asked for attunement or validation or hope or clarification or perspective or any number of relational nutrients that are vital to me as a person and as a leader. I'd love to talk to you more about those relational nutrients. But you can go check out Dr. Townsend's book called People Fuel. I'll leave a link in the description below. It's a phenomenal book, and I highly recommend it. It'll tell you all about those relational nutrients. But for the next few minutes, I want to zero in more on the life team concept. This is also in more detail in People Fuel. I'll just give you a brief overview today. I just gave you 2 stories of me providing relational nutrients to 2 ministers. This is the primary purpose of a life team. A life team is a term that Dr. Townsend refers to as an intentionally selected set of people who become your primary source for relational nutrients. I can tell you from experience, it's amazing how much better I'm doing in my life personally, relationally, spiritually, and emotionally since I established my life team a few years ago. In the past, some major rejection or ministry issue or whatever may come to my life that would be unusually high stress or anxiety, that would sometimes make me spiral emotionally, sometimes even for days. But now, after establishing my life team, it's usually more like only hours. It's all because I understand the value of a team of people who know how to provide those relational nutrients that are so vital to a life. Right now, I have 6 primary life team members that know just about everything about me. And I have a number of people within a slightly bigger circle of close friends that can easily step in and help provide those nutrients at times as well. And with the exception of a few, these people are not coaches. I haven't hired them to help me with my growth. These are comrades. Most are fellow ministers that are in a mutual growth process with me. Listen to what John has to say about this. John 15, chapter 15, verse 15. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth. But I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you. These people are friends that I don't have to hide anything with. They know me. They know my vulnerabilities. They know my weaknesses. And yet they still love me. I can tell them things that feel embarrassing, and yet they still love me. They can handle the raw and undesirable parts of me. They know my dark side, and they know my failures, and yet they just get me. They understand me, and they accept me, and they don't ignore me or withdraw from me or judge me. They love me, and they help me, and they challenge me, and they give me advice, and they give me encouragement. And this is what the family of God is intended to do with one another. This is discipleship and the family of God at its best. Now, there's a whole lot more that can be said about life teams. I'm going to have to stop there for now, and I hope to pick up that conversation a little more at a later time. But in the meantime, be sure to check out the link below and check out chapter 7 of People Fuel to leave you with some practical things to consider. Number 1, name 2 people in your life that you think you can be transparent with and they would still love you. And number 2, make a to-do item for yourself to reach out to those 2 people this week and ask them to join your life team. Now, I know this is a bold move. For some of you, it feels really tough. But I promise you that you'll be glad that you did it later on down the line. I appreciate you giving me your time and attention. Please hit the like button. It really does make a difference. And be sure to visit churchleadermadesimple.com. There's a free 7-session course called Leader Life and Rhythm that you can't find anywhere else. Oh, and by the way, I would greatly appreciate you sharing this content on your favorite social media sites. It just helps me extend my reach. Have a great day. God bless you.